City Hall. But because of COVID, we're meeting virtually through this conferencing platform until further notice. It's been posted according to the Open Meetings Act and is open to the public. Please be advised that it's a formal meeting of the Oak Park City Council, which means we follow all meeting protocols and maintain decorum. Protocol requires that everyone, aside from members of City Council, administration, and speakers, keep their cameras and audio turned off. City Council will offer a call to the audience at the end of the meeting, at which time any resident who wishes to address City Council may do so. Those participating by video conference will be able to write their names in the chat feature and wait to be called on. Then you may turn on your cameras and audio. Anyone joining by phone who wishes to speak may unmute themselves at that time to give their name and wait to be called on. Please be aware that we have a limit of 3 minutes per speaker to address City Council. If you have questions or concerns that require a response, City Council may direct you to an administrative staff member for follow-up. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. We have been called to order. City Clerk Ed Norris, would you call the roll?
Mayor McClellan?
Marion McClellan, City of Oak Park, Oakland County, Michigan.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns?
Carolyn Burns, Oakland County, Oak Park, Michigan. Present.
Councilmember Radner?
Present, Oak Park, Michigan.
All right.
Councilmember Edgar?
Present, Oak Park, Michigan, County of Oakland.
And Councilmember Whitehead?
Sean Whitehead, present, Oak Park City, Oakland County.
Thank you. We have a quorum. The gang's all here. Before we approve the agenda, please look at page 2 and postpone item 14A to the next meeting. We have so many things happening to update you about the strategic plan that take a little longer. Also, please add under item 14C, an item C1, a resolution approving petition to lift the deed restrictions on the Jackson Park property. With those two changes, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Radner. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. The consent agenda, these are routine items, generally approved without discussion, but any council member can ask to have one separated and discussed separately. The items are regular city council meeting minutes of April 19th, 2021, special council meeting minutes of the same date, request to approve payment application number 3 for the 2020 miscellaneous concrete project M714, Mattioli Cement Company of Fenton, who have used many times, for the amount of $31,598.27. D, resolution designating Kevin J. Yee as the agent for the City of Oak Park in regards to the Oakland County West Nile virus reimbursement program. E, library board meeting minutes of January 20th, February 16th, and March 16th, 2021. Retirement board meeting minutes of January 25th, 2021. Corridor improvement meeting minutes of March 18th, 2021. Recycling commission meeting minutes of February 18th. Traffic safety board meeting minutes of January 13th, February 10th, and March 10th. proposed change order number 2 for the amount of $28,156.70 and payment application number 4 for the total amount of $89,124.62 to American Fence Company of Warren, Michigan for the 2020 decorative fence project M695. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember Whitehead. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carried. We don't have, I don't think we have elected officials. I know that Commissioner Charlie Cavell was scheduled to speak, but he is at a meeting that is running late. And so he sent some information to share with you that so far 1 million doses have been delivered to Oakland County. Of the people 16 and over, 56% have had at least one dose. 77% of us who are 65 and over have had at least one dose. Oakland County Board of Commissioners is passing a fair housing initiative. If you are paid 100% of the rent, landlords need to accept that to make it fair in the county. Then I got an email from Eric Woody at Beaumont Hospital. You know, Beaumont Hospital made national news. We are in our third peak. It peaked April 11th. It was higher than our second peak. At the top point, 800 patients were being treated for COVID in Beaumont. And by the end of April, that number 800 was down to 450. So are there any other elected officials who are here to speak? Deputy.
Mayor, I do not see any present.
Okay, thank you. We don't have special presentation tonight. That should bring us down to item 11. We need a motion to award the bid for the 2021 Transformer Replacement Project, M723, to Transformer Inspection Retrofill of Royal Oak, Michigan, for the total amount of $30,051. First, we need a motion and a second.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second, Councilmember Edgar, thank you. City Manager Tungate, who would be able to discuss what this transformer replacement project is?
Be the Assistant City Manager, Kevin Yee.
Okay.
So, in essence, what this is we get direct power from DTE at a wholesale rate to the city of Oak and to the Oak Park campus, and so we actually own the transformers that distribute the power. So with that comes the responsibility of maintaining them, and that's what this is. These transformers are probably 50 years old, and they just need maintenance and replacement from time to time. So that's where we're at. We haven't done much to them over the course of time, and they need work.
Is this one a replacement then?
Yes, this is a replacement.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Are
How
there
many do we actually have in the city of Oak Park?
I'm sorry?
How many transformers do we actually have in the city of Oak Park?
Well, on our city campus, I believe there are 5 total. I believe that there are 5 on a campus.
And how did we pick this one to replace?
There are, I believe there's a couple of transformers here that we're replacing. Yes, there's 2 transformers here that we're replacing. And they're actually, they're leaking, and we've had them inspected. So these are the ones that need replacement.
So the 2 that we're replacing total the $30,051 for 2, or is it for each?
No, that's the total. That's for both of them.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call vote then, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
and Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. City Manager Eric Tungate, this is your section.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. Again, as a reminder, 14A, we're going to move to the May 19th agenda. 14B, we have our staff members here, Director Crystal Van Vleck, Director Stasiak, and Director Kim Maroney. I believe Crystal Van Vleck is going to lead this presentation, but I'm very excited to be able to have them share some of the details of this project with you tonight.
Yes, good evening. So we're excited too to finally be bringing forward the actual purchase for recreational amenities for the linear park. The 9 Mile redesign project, as you know, began in 2015, and it's being implemented in phases. Years of public input has informed all the incremental pieces of this project, with the ultimate goal of transforming 9 Mile into a welcoming, vibrant corridor strung with meaningful public spaces for residents and visitors of all ages and abilities to visit, stay, play, and shop. The finished product will provide a sense of place that residents have found lacking in our city. The first phase was completed in 2019 and included the road restructuring, bike lanes, increased and improved pedestrian crossings, a couple of new public spaces, and updated amenities. Plans are now complete for phase 2, which includes the 9 Mile Linear Park and the Connector Park, both located on the south side of 9 Mile between Scotia and Rosewood. Through a significant amount of community engagement and years of planning, we've designed the park to include amenities for people of all ages and abilities, including fun and engaging recreational elements for children, increased pedestrian lighting, various seating options, and public art. The amenities, so I want to also specify, it doesn't necessarily say it in here, but the amenities that we're talking about tonight are very specifically the recreational elements. We'll be coming forward with some of the other elements as time goes on, but the first step in this is the recreational elements. These amenities will be purchased on the NPP Gov Cooperative Purchasing Pre-Bid Contract. There is $881,206 budgeted in this year's budget for phase 2 of the 9 Mile redesign project between the general fund, the city-owned property fund, the public improvement fund, and the corridor improvement authority, and $80,000 proposed in the 2001-2002 fiscal year budget in the general fund for the additional lighting, as well as roughly $250,000 of outside funding that has been or is in the process of being secured. So our recommended action for tonight is that we propose that the recreation amenities be approved for purchase for the total amount of $517,361.95 utilizing the NPP Gov Cooperative Purchasing Pre-Bid Contract. And again, this is for the recreational amenities. And before we fully turn it over for you guys, Lori's actually going to go over, you may remember about a month ago, we gave a much longer presentation that looked at a concept drawing for the linear park, the connector park, and we want to go back over the linear park real quick, just so you can see specifically what we're proposing is purchased tonight. So you can kind of see that again. So I'll hand it over to Lori and I'm going to share my screen.
Thank you, Crystal. And good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and City Manager Tungate. I'm glad to be here tonight to review the planned amenities for the linear park. As a quick reminder, the amenities were chosen based on resident input and what they would like to see and use in the linear park. I will take you through several slides to review each of the amenities and where they will sit along the linear park. Please keep in mind that these are conceptual slides. They do not give the details of the neighborhood, such as the houses on the south side or the businesses on the north side of 9 Mile. These slides will give you a sense of what the whole park will look like and what will be available for residents to enjoy. We designed the park to have a number of options for both playful and passive elements in the nodes, along with providing something for all ages, abilities, and interests. I will share this information in 2 parts. The first, amenities in the linear park from Scotia to Manistee. The second, from Manistee to Rosewood. There are a number of fixed amenities There are several benches for sitting, bench swings with shade covering, bike racks, and picnic tables throughout the park. Our first slide.
Can you make it a
starts
little
out-
bit larger? Can you make it a little bit larger?
Our first,
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, even better.
Thank you.
Mhm.
okay, next slide. And the next slide. Okay, this slide starts out with a bench and a garbage can and leads up to our sensory panel. They provide a variety of games, puzzles, and stationary learning activities for a variety of ages, and they are ADA accessible. They make learning fun. The next slide is our rocking zone, which includes the free ride, which is a seesaw or a rocker lounger, ideal for building strength and coordination. What is small in this diagram is the number 9 rocker. It's uniquely shaped like the number 9 for 9 Mile. Our next slide, you will see 2 bench swings designed to provide shade overhead, and there is a possible spot in the middle for upcoming public art. Our next slide, we've got some benches and garbage can, and then you come to the lollipops. Next slide. They identify the crosswalks. They provide shade and visual interest in assorted colors for a fun new look, both colorful and whimsical. Also on this slide is our Yelp. It's an interactive game arch that works intuitively. If you walk under the arch, it will immediately ask you if you want to play a game. Different games can be selected at the touch of a button. It's for all ages, all abilities, adults and seniors will also enjoy it. And just a quick note, we did move this to a location closer to Scotia. Next slide. This is our spinning zone. The spinning helps to improve balance, muscle control, and gross motor skills. The cone spinner combines the excitement of spinning with the challenge of climbing all in one. And then our Eddy 0.02 and 0.05 spinners, you can use it alone or with a friend. And the Eddy 0.5 has a longer stem for an adult to enjoy. And those blank spots you see are for picnic tables. The next slide. This is a close-up of the challenge course. And over the next couple of slides, you will see the whole course. On this challenge course, kids will race to jump on and explore where and how to get to the other side. It promotes speed, agility, upper body strength, and it challenges motor planning skills. The different shapes give visual appeal and interest and has unique climbing elements. The next slides start the next section of the linear park from Manistee to Rosewood. This first slide depicts our current Mogul station. The next slide has a bench swing, and off in the distance, it's coming up to the play cubes. They provide accessible climbing with different levels of challenge. Kids can explore on and through the cubes. It captures the imagination and invites interpretation, interaction, and invention. Also, this is a great example of some of the ideas for landscaping that will be dispersed throughout the park. Next slide. This is another crosswalk. So we have our lollipops in assorted colors. Next slide. You will see the balance course. Balance course, it helps to develop a sense of balance, coordination, and motor skills. You have the sidewalk sections based on the user's weight, it moves. You have the curved balance beam, which develops balance and coordination. The steppers or stepping stones create challenging paths of different heights. And the bounce buttons are spring-loaded for bouncing fun. The range of motion is determined by the user's weight. Next up is the bike challenge course. Riders of all abilities can challenge themselves on the rolling elevated surfaces. The inset picture gives you a better idea of what the course will look like. Our next slide got a bench swing, and in the distance you can see bike racks, trash receptacle, and picnic tables. And our final slide, the last amenity, is the small rocking zone. You have Beetle 0.01 and 0.02. One moves quickly right to left, and the other one rocks back and forth. And this concludes the presentation, if anyone has any questions.
We will have either kite shade or tree shade for the picnic tables and the seats.
Yes. Yeah, on that particular drawing, it doesn't depict where the trees are.
So the first thing we're buying is recreational elements. What are the second and third elements that we're going to do when these are installed? Is it landscape?
Yeah, so the next step would be landscaping. And we have included in our budget, we have a portion of money included for that. But we want to get the recreational amenities in first. And then, of course, we have the public art. And our request for proposals closes in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks. And that's when the public art ad hoc committee will come together and review those proposals. We have given a timeline for that for next spring, just in case. We want to make sure that all the construction is done and the art pieces are put in last so that they're not damaged in any way. So that's kind of the timeline. And then the connector park would be last. We were hoping originally to do the connector park and the linear park together, but unfortunately, fortunately, we are receiving a grant for that. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the grant there's a little bit of a hold on it, and it's through the state and federal government. So we really have to follow their strict guidelines, their strict timelines. So that's the timeline that we're looking at. We'll do the recreational amenities for the linear park, then we'll look at the landscaping, then we'll be placing the public art in, and then we'll address the connector park. Hopefully this time next year, we'll be coming with a similar proposal for the amenities for the connector park.
This is a dream come true. People.
I have a question.
Councilmember Radner.
My daughter and I were just watching the presentation, and my daughter wants to know if this will be available for her birthday, which is May 16th.
I asked for it to be ready Tuesday, but they couldn't do that for the mayor either.
So
Her next birthday.
Maybe next year.
Next year for sure.
Sounds good.
Mayor McClellan, I got some questions.
Yes, please.
So when are you expecting to put the first round of equipment on the park?
I don't know if Kevin, you want to chime in on this at all, but you've probably, if anyone's past 9 Mile, you've probably already seen that we're putting the concrete in for some of the slabs for the benches and whatnot. The purchasing agreement that we're using through this, using to purchase this equipment, there are a couple of different companies that the equipment's coming from. So there are various timelines that ranged from, I believe it was 8 weeks to 18 weeks. Does that sound about right, Kevin? And so because of that, we could be looking at least, I would say, 20-week implementation time. Does that sound about right?
I would say that's best case scenario. There's some of these that have rubber plate surfaces and some of them that have concrete, surfaces, and we're working through, as Director Van Vleck had mentioned, we're working through all that now. We're trying to jump ahead of it. We've had to put some culverts in to kind of cover the ditches, and we've been doing that, and putting in the concrete pads for the picnic tables and the trash receptacles and things like that. So I would say 20 weeks is best case scenario. Probably safer to give it more like 24 weeks to get this project completely, this phase of the project completely finished.
And how much maintenance will all this equipment require on a year-to-year basis?
It's going to obviously vary. Playground equipment, we have certified playground inspectors, and we have to maintain playground equipment in all of our parks. So I wouldn't say this is any more than any other park, but it's just part of doing business and owning city property and amenities.
Right, I mean, how much do we typically spend to maintain our recreational equipment in Oak Park?
I'm going to tell you that there probably isn't a typical amount. I mean, it really just depends. Like I said, there's not a lot of moving parts on these. I don't anticipate a whole lot of maintenance on these, but as with anything, I mean, we have a lot of trash receptacles out there that are going to be new that we have to empty. There's going to be a lot more litter picking. There's going to be a lot more of different types of maintenance, but like I said, it's I can't tell you what it's going to cost or what time it's going to take, but it's something that we're, I think even all of my crew and everyone else is very excited for this and the changes that are coming to Oak Park.
I think it's great looking. It's really exciting. I'm a little wary about riding in the bicycle lane because I don't think that motorists really respect that lane. I don't think they really understand. And so I like riding on the path, but with all of this stuff coming, it's just not going to be viable to ride a bike along that path. There's just so much going on. And if it attracts kids, hopefully it will, it's really, you really cannot ride comfortably on that path, which is a pity because Oak Park could really use some good bike paths. Do we have any of the dog waste receptacles going along this path?
Yes. Yes, we will.
How many?
Is it possible to put a fountain or do those just get mulled to?
Oh, I'm sorry, like a drinking fountain? Well, there were two parts to the question. I'm not exactly sure how many trash receptacles we have planned or dog waste receptacles we have planned there. We'll put a couple in and see how it goes and make sure that they're being used. As far as a fountain goes, we did not plan or anticipate for a fountain in this area. And it is quite expensive to add one in because you have to do a tap to the water main, you have to put in a water meter and a meter vault, and there's a lot to that. So we didn't anticipate or plan to do that. But if that's something that, down the line, if we think is needed or, warranted, then we'll obviously look at that or discuss it and budget for it if we need to.
So in terms of the budget for this entire project, we successfully raised the $50,000 through the patronicity campaign, and the state's going to match that, right? So that's $100,000. What's that going to be designated for?
I could let Director Van Vleck speak to that, but I think it was an overall project grant. But Director Van Vleck, was there anything specific that we asked for that?
So for the patronicity, and we still are working on securing those funds, just to note, but for the patronicity, it's for the project in general, so not for any specific aspect, but for the amenities of the project. And then same with another grant that we have received that we cannot actually make public yet because they haven't released their press release, but we did get another grant. Same thing though, it was just for the project in general, to be able to fund the amenities, the public art, all of it.
So the $250,000 of outside funding, what does that include?
I can't give all the sources just right now because we haven't been given the go ahead by these sources just yet.
So these are granting organizations then?
Correct, yeah, but they like to release their press releases first before we make them public, so.
Is a dream come true. I go to Bend, Oregon, which is the recreational capital of the West, I think. And they spent huge amounts on recreation. And I always go to their parks and take grandchildren, and I have park envy. So I am now inviting Bend, Oregon rec staff to come and drool over 9 Mile Road.
Madam Mayor, may I make a comment, please?
Yes, please.
I just want to say great presentation, Director Stasiak, Director Van Vleck, and everything that you're doing, Director Maroney, for this project, and Assistant City Manager Yee. It's a really great project. I did a walkthrough with a few of you a couple weeks ago, and I really am excited for the park. It looks great. I think it's going to really drive up the property values in that area. And I think it's going to be something good for all ages. So I'm really excited for the park. And I really think that Oak Park should really have the best parks. And I think this is going to set us on that trajectory. So let's keep it going.
Thank you.
Absolutely. This is the beginning. So this we have now a vote to purchase. Are there any further questions before we vote on this request?
I'm a city council meeting. I'll call you back.
Madam Mayor, we actually need a motion. And a
Okay,
second.
we need a motion. A motion, please, and a second.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you,
Second.
Councilman Radner, and
Second.
thank you. That's Councilmember Radner and Associates. Okay. We can vote now. City Clerk Ed Norris.
Yes.
We can do
Roll call. Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan,
yes.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
and Mayor Pro Tem Burns.
Yes.
Motion carried. Dream come true.
Well, thank you. 14C, I'd like to have Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee take this one.
Thank you. Attached is a tabulation for proposals for material testing services for the 2021 water main replacement project M718. The low proposal submitted was by testing engineers and consultants for a total amount of $11,260. It is recommended that the proposal from testing engineers and consultants for professional services for materials testing services for the 2021 water main replacement project M718 be approved for the total amount of $11,260. Money is available in the water and sewer fund. And I wanted to point out that we did just have the bid opening for this project. So, this is probably a little ahead of ourselves, but we wanted to secure our testing services, and the water main project will be requested to award on the next council meeting.
Wonderful. Is there a motion to approve this proposal?
So moved. Second.
Solomon who was the first? Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, and a second from
Yes.
Radner team. Any discussion? Roll call vote then, please.
Mayor McClellan,
Yes.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, and 14B1, City Attorney Courtney Kraus, do you want to take this or do you want me to?
I'm happy to take it. This is a resolution to approve the petition for removal of deed restrictions on Jackson Park. The Jackson Park parcel that is currently owned by the City of Oak Park has deed restrictions that limit its use to residential only. The City of Ferndale Public Schools has circulated a petition asking owners of property that are located on that plat to agree to remove those restrictions. Since the City of Oak Park is an owner on the plat, the city has been asked to vote either yay or nay as to removal of the restrictions. And it is the recommendation of the City Attorney's Office that these restrictions be removed to allow for the construction of the new elementary school by the Ferndale School District.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the resolution, approving this petition.
So moved.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Radner. Discussion or questions? Are there a certain number of votes that the city gets? Attorney Kraus?
It's based on a percentage of the total property owners in the plat. And the city is entitled to 1 vote per parcel that it owns.
And how many parcels do we own?
You have 2 parcels right now that are part of the Jackson Park property that have these deed restrictions. And all of the property owners on the plat are being asked to consent or object to removal of the restrictions.
Right. So we have 2 votes on this then.
Yes, and the school district is required to have a majority of property owners in the plat agree in order to remove those restrictions.
And I think they have, they need 606, I think, votes. And they have at this point 450 plus our 2. So they're continuing to mail ballots to property owners, and the ballots so far are coming in 2-1 in favor, because it's a wonderful proposal for the city and the neighbors. But they just need to get the rest of the people to turn in a ballot. I think they need about 150 more votes turned in.
That is correct, Madam Mayor. And just for clarification purposes, it is a petition that we're asking property owners to agree to. We've been encouraged not to use the term ballot due to state election laws and the possibility of creating confusion.
Ah, interesting. Not ballot, huh? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second and an explanation. Are there any further questions?
So why are we doing this right now? I mean, is it because they're in the middle of this petition drive to lift the deed restrictions? What about the timing?
That is correct. They are circulating a petition right now among parcel owners, and since the city is a parcel owner, we have been asked to consent to removal of the restrictions, which is why it's before council here tonight.
And lifting the deed restriction is going to enable the school district to build on the entire parcel?
Because of the way the parcel is divided, the school will be constructed in a portion of that parcel. But because we're not separating the parcel based on where the deed restrictions are located, all of the restrictions have to be removed in order to construct the school.
I think that's true. Any further questions? No, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns,
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar,
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Fingers crossed.
Okay, and 14D, Director Jocelyn Davis, please.
Thank you, City Manager Tungate, and good evening, members of City Council and Mayor McClellan. I have some great announcements tonight. The first one is that we have simplified registration process for our vaccination clinic at the Oak Park Community Center. This is the one we're in partnership with Henry Ford Health System. And before you had to go through a lot of different filling out forms, that sort of thing, it's very easy now. You go to the city's website, the homepage, and click on the link there, and it will take you directly to the calendar to make an appointment. That's how easy this is. And every week, you will have a different link there to the calendar for the following Wednesday. So the one that's up right now is for the 5th, but for this coming Wednesday, and we'll put the next one up after this one is over. It's very easy. The Oak Park Clinic is open to Oak Park residents ages 16 and up. However, if a 16 or 17-year-old does come to the clinic, they will need to be there with a parent or guardian. That is that. We have a Juneteenth essay contest coming up. This is very near and dear, I know, to Councilmember Sean Whitehead's heart, and also to my own. My family celebrated Juneteenth my entire life. Submissions for this contest are due by May the 15th, or I'm sorry, May the 10th. So let me give you this the parameters here. The contest is called What Does Juneteenth Mean to You? And it is for 3 categories: elementary students, middle school students, and high school students. It's open to K-12 students who live in Oak Park. So they don't have to go to Oak Park schools, they have to live in Oak Park, but it's certainly open to students from the Oak Park School District. The contact for that, if you have any questions, is our director, Crystal Van Vleck. Her telephone number is 248-691-7401. You can find more information calling her. This is sponsored, this contest, by the law offices of our very own Sean Whitehead Esquire, by Barika and Daryl Pace, and members of the Oak Park Juneteenth Ad Hoc Committee. Thank you so much. In support of that, the library is doing a Juneteenth book bag program. This is where students can receive materials for participation in the essay contest. So there will be a separate book bag for elementary, one for middle school, one for high school. And what you need to do is call the library, request a book bag, which will have information to help with the essay, and then it'll be delivered to your car curbside. That telephone number at the Oak Park Library is 248-691-7480. And the library is also hosting another program. This is free resources for Michigan residents of all ages. This is for online tutorials, practice tests, and ebooks. It's called Learning Express Library. There will be different prep material for, say, entrance and grad school exams, for the GED, the ACT, the SAT, and AP tests. So preparation for that. There's professional exam preparation for, say, military entrance, nursing, law enforcement, and civil service. There's also a skill building material for reading, math, writing, and basic science. There's a lot there, and there's even more. So if you're interested in that, please give a call to the library. The number again is 248-691-7480. One more program from the library, which is really great. It's called Get Set Up. It's a Get Set Up program, and it's for seniors. This one is live interaction online classes for older adults, and it's taught by older adults. The topics can range from anywhere to how to use Zoom, to social interests, to tech devices, how to use your technology, and maintaining independence. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services is the ones who have created this initiative, the Get Set Up Michigan. Again, you can call the library for more information at 248-691-7480, or you can go to www.getsetup.io/partner/Michigan. Probably call the library to get that more information. It's also time for our annual street sweeping. Our Department of Public Works wants our residents to know that our street sweeping began this week. It will run Monday through Friday of this week. The city is actually in 5 different zones for street sweeping. We have a zone 1 through 5. And what you can do is go to the website, go to the Department of Public Works page, and you will see street sweeping, on your left-hand side. And you click there and you can see the map and see when your street will be swept. When you see that your street is swept, the day that it's supposed to be swept, you need to keep your cars off of the streets from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, that map can be found under the Department of Public Works on the website. We also have May 15th, a Sakura recycling event. It's happening. Everyone looks forward to these. May 15th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at our ICE Arena. That's located at 13950 Oak Park Boulevard. It's the building right next to City Hall. We will be, Sakura will be hosting that, and they'll be accepting paper, cartons, metal, glass, plastics, and flattened cardboard boxes. There's also going to be a drive-through shredding service. This is not something we always have. Everyone will have a 2-box limit for shredding, and that box itself needs to be accessible either in the trunk or the truck bed for quick removal because there's no self-service there. But that's happening there. Also on the website, you can find a diagram that will show you exactly will be accepted during the recycling event. Another very exciting thing is happening. It's tree planting with Relief Michigan. This is an annual event. Very nice, from 8 a.m. to noon on May the 22nd. We will be planting trees in Lessinger Park. That's located at 21800 Scotia Road. We need volunteers for this event. We're looking for resident volunteers, groups, small groups to volunteer for this. You can volunteer by going to www.relief, that's RELEAF, Michigan.org/RSVP. We're looking for small teams of 3 or 4 to do this, or individuals. If you have any questions, though, you can call Ray Krajewski. He's here in Oak Park with us in administration. His number is 248-691-7494. We also have a free garage sale weekend coming up, another one. We have several in the spring and summer here. This one is May 20th through the 23rd. This is free. This is when your fees are waived to have a garage sale, but keep in mind that operation and sign regulations will still apply. So if you have questions about that, we have information on the website under Department of Public Works, or you can call 248-691-7450. I'm sorry, that information wouldn't be under Public Works. I believe it's either under the clerk and under technical and planning. We have a couple of surveys also on the homepage of our website. One is for, drum roll please, Oak Park Dog Park Survey. We've been talking about this for a long time. We're looking for residents to fill out this survey. We're looking to gain some support and some input for the development of the city's first ever dog park. So this survey will be facilitated by the Oak Park Dog Park Committee. They're actually under the Oak Park Parks and Recreation Commission. You can get access to the survey. I'm going to suggest, instead of my reading off this long URL address, that you go to the city's website, and it's also on our Facebook page, on the Recreation Department page. You can also pick up a hard copy of the survey if you don't have access to electronic in the Recreation Department in the front entrance hall of the Recreation Department. Your completed surveys can be dropped off in the city's Dropbox, that's right in front of City Hall, or by emailing them to the Recreation Office at recoffice@oakparkmi.gov. We have another survey that we need everyone to fill out. It's our Oak Park Local Artist Census. Our commission, our Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission, is asking for all residents to fill out this survey so we can find out where our artists are. We're looking for artists who are currently residents of Oak Park and those who just have an affiliation with Oak Park, gain an understanding and awareness of how our arts and culture work in Oak Park. So please go to the website, the city's website at www.oakparkmi.gov, and you'll see a link there to the Oak Park Local Artist Census. There are just a few wonderful recreation events I'd like to bring up. One is our Spring Has Sprung scavenger hunt. We are really getting popular with these scavenger hunts, and we even have some great sponsors. So this one is on Saturday, May the 15th. Families will need to register by 4 p.m. on Friday, May the 14th by calling 248-691-7555. You have to find 10 special spring flowers that will be, quote, planted throughout Oak Park. That's usually in our parks and also in businesses, local businesses. And the first 6 families to find them will receive prizes. There are 3 prizes that are family passes for 2021 to the Detroit Zoo. And also, and that's courtesy of one of our partners, Built by Intrust Homes. And then there are 3 family passes for 2021 to the Oak Park Pool, which is really a great gift. Virtual Trivia Night is coming up too. We have 2 in May, one May 6th for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the second one on May 27th for popular anime. That's $5 per team per night, and you do need to register so you can receive the Zoom link, again, by calling the Recreation Department at 248-691-7555. Teen Council is still going strong, and the next meeting is on May the 26th at 4 o'clock for our teens. And we still have our virtual games for our adults and teens, virtual NBA 2K21, Madden NFL 21 leagues, and Rocket League duos in cross-platform. We use Xbox One, PlayStation 4 for that, and you do need to have your own equipment for that. May 3rd through June 2nd, it's for adults, and our youth, ages 13 through 17, their program is May the 8th through June the 5th. It's $20 per person, and again, you do need to have your own equipment to play in the games. One more reminder that we closed until further notice. The municipal complex won't be open until further notice due to the pandemic. However, don't forget you can still access all of us if you need to reach any of our directors or departments by going onto the website and looking for the phone number or email address. They're all there if you need to reach us because we're still accessible. You can still pay your bills by either mailing them in, using that Dropbox outside of City Hall, or going through our city website. Oak Park does not charge an online fee if you have your payment directly linked to your bank account. And that, if there are no questions, is the end of my announcements for tonight.
Thank you, Director Davis. That was a lot going on in the city of Oak Park. I noticed in the chat there was a question that I think Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee could speak to about the budget for ongoing maintenance of the new park.
Okay, I'm looking for the question now
Oh, in the chat.
in the chat. I'm looking.
What is the budget for the ongoing maintenance in the new, for the new park, the new linear park?
I don't have I think it's a similar question to what Councilmember Edgar had, and we don't have a specific budget for it. We're going to take on and make sure we maintain the parks just like we do. We have a budget to maintain the parks in general, and we're going to continue to provide that service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, Council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager Eric Tungate. And it is now time for call to the audience. When you're called to speak, please state your name and street address for the record. Please be advised we have a 3-minute time limit. If you're on video conferencing, type your name in the chat at the bottom of your screen, and we will call on you. If you're calling into the meeting, please unmute yourself and add your name to the speakers list. Director Vecchio, has anyone requested to speak?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, I had a first request from John Klein.
I'm here. Are you going to start my video so I can project myself? Or?
You can go ahead and you should be able to start your video.
No, I have no, the host has stopped the video from.
Just a second. There you go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is John Klein. I live on 14021 Balfour Street. That's a few houses from the mayor. And I am a professor at Wayne State University. And I am also the chair of the City of Oak Park's Traffic Safety Board, which is an advisory board to the City Council. I saw on Facebook some discussion about some idea of putting bike lanes on Coolidge between 10 and 11 Mile. This was not discussed at this meeting, so I guess I'm bringing it up. And I think the idea of putting bike lanes on Coolidge itself is a very, very poor idea for several reasons. First of all, I don't know if any of you council members have driven along Coolidge in Berkeley. Almost nobody uses those bike lanes because they're a hazard, right? People, there's just too much traffic going through, and the bike lanes are just painted lines on the streets. If you really want to put in a bike lane in an area that has a high motorized traffic, you have to raise it up off the roadbed, and that's a very expensive venture. I have an alternative proposal, which the city council, I would like it if the city council would entertain. And I'm speaking as a private citizen tonight, not as the chair of the chair of the Traffic Safety Board. I think one can consider the idea of turning a parallel street, namely Kipling, into no parking on either side, because very few cars park there to begin with, because no houses face Kipling. And then we can put in protected bike lanes on each side of the street of Kipling. And that is something similar to what's done in Pleasant Ridge and Ferndale. If you go down Pinecrest, which is parallel to Woodward, you will see protected bike lanes along that street. I think that would be a much better and safer idea, and I think it would be used. I don't think bike lanes along Coolidge would be used. I think it's a waste of money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have Don Jones would like to speak. You can go ahead.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello? Stop the video, please. Hey, hey. Okay, 7:55 will be done by 2 minutes of 8. John Klein provides some useful information. I was the person who started the bike lines from 11 mile to 8 mile on Coolidge, discussed it on the old park forum. 165 comments. Majority, 31 people said that reacted to it. The majority were for it. I'm definitely interested in the option of going on Kipling because what I really do on biking, and somehow to help people that aren't in the neighborhood find the side streets that are the bike lanes is much better than trying to keep people out of the bike lanes on Greenfield, for example. So, my name is Don Jones. I live near 10 in Coolidge. I think that is a wonderful town, and I'm amazed at how much you guys do. But I do avoid driving, and cars are killing us. So I'd like to see connect the linear park to Providence Hospital, to the Detroit system, to the 11 in Coolidge bike lane, and the MOGO station at Lincoln and Coolidge. That's, you rent the bike there, and then where you go, you don't know. You know how to get to Shepherd Park. You don't, unless you already know if you live there, and if you live there, you bought a bike. So I don't really get. Turn off my video. I see something. I'm a big fan of driver education. I agree there's a problem with people turning right out of a bike lane at 11 Coolidge and making sure that the bike path is cleaned. And if we do Kipling, we're going to have some kind of snow brush removal to make sure that it goes down to the street consistently. Basically, I'm saying if you're a bicyclist and you're at the MOGO station at Lincoln and Coolidge, you're stranded. If you're going south on Coolidge to 11 mile, the bike lane distance, you're stranded. If you go 9 mile at Coolidge, you're stranded. I wouldn't have my 12-year-old go through 9 mile in Coolidge. It's not safe. There is no bus between 8 and 9 on Coolidge. So if you don't have a car, you're walking or you're biking, but you can't bike because it's not safe. So signage could be big help as to how to get to Shepherd Park from 11 to Coolidge. It's a 4 mile walk from Coolidge from my doctor at 14 in Woodward to my home, and only 1 mile has bike path. No bus, makes sense. Also, I'm done.
Thank you.
Okay, next I have Solomon would like to speak. Solomon, did you still wish to speak?
You're not talking about me. You're talking about the person whose username is Solomon.
Yes,
right?
correct.
Solomon, are you there?
I can try to come back to him. I do have Mark Phillips. You can go ahead and speak right now.
Hey, can you turn my video on?
Sure.
I'm not that ugly. Am I on? Nope, not yet.
All right, just a second. Gotta find you.
I'm there.
There you go.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Mark Phillips. I live at 13670 Nadine, in one of the original houses of the park. I've been here since '86 and lived in my house since 1990. Been here since I got to this country. This is my first council meeting, and I'm actually going to make a habit of coming because I've picked up a lot of information that I did not know, and I suspect that a lot of people don't know. And I think it's a question of for everybody how to get that message out to each and every one that lives in the city of Oak Park. I just wanted to come on to let you know that I have started a Facebook page, just like the East Oak Park page, for North Oak Park, Michigan. I've always believed that North Oak Park, because we are in a separate school district and a little bit different, I would say, has its own character. So we had our first Zoom meeting, which was fairly successful. And the idea is from now on is to, and the people liked it because it meant that they get to know their neighbors, and especially if you have kids. And the idea is to have a meeting every month and to invite members of the council or the city to, spend 20-30 minutes with us and just let us know what is going on in around the city and in our part. The mayor was nice enough to join us before in our first meeting, and we learned quite a bit about what was happening on 11 Mile. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Solomon. I'm unmuting you.
Here, Solomon is actually here. But he can just...
Oh.
Go ahead, Sal.
I can start talking?
Yeah, you have 3 minutes.
3 minutes. My name is Solomon Zile. I live at 2606 Footcliff Place. I've been a resident for 37 years here. And I've also been a resident at 9 Mile and Marlow for 10 years. My main problem in my neighborhood right now is the streets. Our street is crumbling. I've tried to get into Eric Tugman's office plenty of times and left plenty of messages. And it's gotten to the point where it's very dangerous at this point, especially at nighttime. At nighttime, our street lights do not work properly. On Loretta and Stratford Place, if you turn the corner, and if a person's walking in the street and not wearing a reflector guard, they will get hit. We've been complaining for many years regarding our streets, and we get no answer. When it comes to snow plowing, they wait. We're usually the last street in the neighborhood to get snow plowed because we're only one street. This year they cleaned it once. Last year they didn't clean it at all. By the time they come, the ice buildup on the street is very, very slippery. So when they do clean the streets, they will not have the tow trucks, whatever they use to clean the streets with, go all the way down to the cement, because at this point the ice is part of the cement. And to make things a lot worse, they usually patch the street with black tar Black tar does not stick to cement. And when the winter is over, all that stuff comes up. I would like the mayor, the city council, Mr. Tugman, to come down and visit the street and see how much damage has been done, how much damage it could do to our vehicles. It's dangerous at nighttime to walk on the streets, crossing over. And at that point, I'll leave it at this so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your input.
Mayor McClellan. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have more?
I do not have anyone else at this time. If anybody else does wish to speak, this is the last call for that. Please give your name in the chat or raise your hand. Give it another 30 seconds here. I do not have anyone else.
So,
Mayor, may I just add to what Mr. Zeiler said? I happen to live around the block from him, and he is absolutely right. The street, Radcliffe Place and Loretta Place, are in terrible, terrible condition. There's almost no cement left. It's hazardous to drivers, cyclists. I avoid walking there because it's dangerous. And I wondered if maybe Assistant City Manager Yee could tell us where these streets fall in our calendar for repairs, because it's been a long time and they really do need to be redone. And the asphalt or tar patching doesn't work anywhere, but we really do need to get to this. And other things feel frivolous. This basic infrastructure really needs to be replaced. So where is this? This is on Radcliffe Place at Loretta. Where is this in terms of, on our road repair schedule?
So it isn't in that specific road section is not in the capital improvements. However, we did beef up our miscellaneous concrete, and it is on the list for getting some repairs on miscellaneous concrete. It won't be a complete reconstruct, but there are going to be repairs to the worst areas of that section.
Is that going to happen soon?
Yeah, we have it slated for the fall.
I know he mentioned streetlights as well, especially at the corner of Stratford Place and Loretta Place. I think that, I'm not sure whether that's LED, whether it's been replaced, but there is a problem there too. It's really dark at night.
So I'm a little confused. I'll go check it out. I wrote a note for myself, but I don't know. The way I heard it, the street light wasn't functioning properly. So I don't know if there's not a light there, if the street light isn't functioning properly, but I'll have to check it out and see what the situation is. At first I heard of any issue with the street light there though.
Thank you.
all right. We are on call to the council at this point. I would just like to say that Representative Brenda Lawrence, U.S. representative, is focusing on a mass vaccination week, walk up COVID vaccinations for clinics. And the vaccine is safe and effective. During this week, there are going to be places for walk-in vaccinations. And Brenda would love us to get our moms vaccinated, and as a present to your mom, get yourself vaccinated to make your mom happy. So there are two sites that are very close to us. Henry Ford mobile site in Oak Park, 14300 Oak Park Boulevard, Wednesday, May 5th from 8 to 3. And Beaumont Service Center, 26901 Beaumont Boulevard, Monday through Friday. So we missed today, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10:30 to 2. And it's a Pfizer vaccine that they're getting. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thanks for participating to those who had comments. Mayor Pro Tem Burns, do you have something for call to the council?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you for the audience participation. Thank you, Director Stasiak and Van Vleck, for the very nice presentation of the linear parks. Everyone be safe and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad there was so much participation by the public tonight. I did want to thank Mark Phillips for starting the group for North Oak Park. I think it's a great idea. And hopefully we can pool our brain power and do some good things for the north end of the city. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Councilmember Radner and Associates.
Well, thank you to everybody who came out and shared their thoughts, especially my neighbor, Mr. Zeiler, who, after he couldn't figure out how to use Zoom. Remember what you were saying before about how we need to have more assistance for our senior citizens and how to use technology. So I think that's what we needed for my dear friend and neighbor, Mr. Zeiler. So he did the next best thing and just ran to my house and grabbed my house.
That's the low-tech version. That's wonderful.
But thankfully, council and Mr. Tungman all got to hear what he had to say.
Right.
So, but in all seriousness, just for a minute, I mean, Councilmember Edgar just talked about it before, and obviously Mr. Zeiler talked about it just a few minutes ago. My street is in just absolutely terrible condition. And I always hate to be the one to ask for any sort of special treatment. I think anybody in the city who's ever dealt with me knows that. And I'm not asking for special treatment. I never do that. But you're hearing it. My street is completely falling apart. So I appreciate that Mr. Yee said that we're on the list of streets to get repaired. And hopefully they'll get repaired soon. With that in mind, thank you all and have a good night.
Thank you. I think I'm going to say fall. He's on the schedule. It's on the schedule for fall.
And it's not a full repair. He said it's a concrete. It's redoing the concrete. It's not a full out repair. That's what I heard. Just don't want any misinformation.
It's not a replacement, right? It's repair.
Yeah, the concrete replacement. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry if I may. There will be isolated repairs on the worst sections. So that's what it's going to be. A replacement of the worst sections is what we're looking at right now.
Councilmember Whitehead.
I'll be brief. I just want to say happy Mother's Day, early Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and all the aunties out there and all the grandmothers out there. So we appreciate you.
That's so nice. And happy birthday, happy May birthday, I guess, to Miss Radner. And sorry we won't have the park ready in time, but we're working on it. Love you. There being no further business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.